Hi everyone. Evil then, bicolor today. The art can be in the understatement. Instead of an onslaught of colors, we deliver a piece of jewelry in bicolor. This brings the chassis modifications to the fore and heralds a new style. It was the dream of the slow-growing bikers of the 90s to finally own a Harley. It had to be black and long and deep and mean. We may be adults now, but we are never too old for a happy youth. Some signs have changed, though. What had to be evil then is now too colored. We believe we have succeeded in bringing the dreams of the 90s into the new millennium with this Fat Boy, a serious bicolor for bikers, the color play of chrome and black. This draws the eye to the technical composition and, because it is mainly presented in chrome, provides a visual counterpoint to the black garb. Who would have thought of a 23-inch front wheel 30 years ago? We did, and it gave the Fat Boy its new name, 23 Commander. Both wheels are from our spoke range. At the rear of the Softail swing arm, the Commander rolls on 21-inch wheels, another contemporary accent. Our pulley brake is designed to match the drive pulley, and the brake disc, which is positioned close to it on the left side, form a compact unit and allow a clear view of the wheels, at least from the right side of the show. The experience on the left is no less, if only because this pulley brake remains a technical delicacy. And then there is the big 340 disc at the front left. Not only because of the better bite, but mainly because a small disc would have been a bit puny in the big 23-inch. The owner can be seen from both sides. He becomes the Commander himself, enthroned on a spirit leather saddle, and our Hollywood light handlebars bow submissively to him. Harley's brand new Empire Series hardware is at his service: grips, pedals, foot pegs, mirrors and linkage. All in chrome, of course, as befits a courtroom. The king is in the mood, and if not with a snap of his fingers, then with the press of a button, thanks to air ride, he can raise and lower his throne. Of course, when he walks among the people, he lowers it to the ground. The steel rear fender nestles up to the rear wheel, the line is immediately correct, and you know you are among the people, His Majesty has arrived. Same thing in green. It was another Fat Boy that we let roll out of our gates. On a big foot, and therefore unmistakably a Thunderbike Fat Boy. But don't let the name Green Booster fool you. Yes, we already have a red booster based on a Fat Boy. But the customer wanted a Fat Boy based on the Big Mike, only the black should be different, namely shiny. The saddle was to be modeled on the Red Force. And we suggested that our spoke wheels should be polished black, not contrast cut, because this would add a new accent to the standard black, which should be shiny. And. The sum of the details is the whole. The name Green Booster is a reference to the color, this time applied by our local paint shop in a Mercedes-Benz AMG shade called Olive Metallic. You can't go any lower. And it is precisely this subtle but precious shade that blends so harmoniously with the glossy black chassis components. The Hollywood light handlebars on the old-style risers give you a more relaxed riding position. The sleek M8 GP long nose spoiler is a match for the Green Booster's promising name, even when stationary. The pulley has the same design as the wheels and has 70 teeth. Please recount. Lowered in front of ice cream shop. These components give the Green Booster the typical Thunderbike line. On a big foot, of course, with our 21-inch spoked wheels, 4-inch wide at the front and 9-inch wide at the rear. At the rear, we replaced the Softail with our single-sided swing arm and dominant perimeter brake disc, and at the front we gave the bike the no less powerful 340mm brake disc and gloss black powder-coated forks. The steel rear fender, with its seamlessly integrated rear lights, sits comfortably on the rear wheel. Our air ride ensures that the line is right here, even when the bike is lowered in front of the ice cream parlor. For the airways, we chose the torque airbox cover in bicolor cut to match the ignition cover and topper. Steel mudguard with seamlessly integrated rear lights hugs the rear wheel thanks to air ride. But the road calls again. The Hollywood light handlebar on the old-school racers promise a comfortable riding position, and the sleek M8 GP long nose spoiler matches the green booster's promising name even when stationary. So get back on the bike, take a look in Motor Gadget's glassless rearview mirrors and weave your way into traffic. The short/cuts of Jekyll and Hyde will proclaim that there is something mighty rolling on wheels, on the big wheels of Thunderbike, and with the force of a booster, with the power and glory of a green booster. Noble in scarlet paint. It's easy to spot the Crimson Force as a real Thunderbike at first glance. Its mighty wheels give it an equally mighty line, because you won't find a 21-inch rear wheel on every custom bike. Another great example of the versatility of our Force range, the Crimson Force is a real eye-catcher with its scarlet red livery. The Crimson Force is the next Milwaukee-Eight Fat Boy in the Force series, with characteristic features. The core of the bike is largely unchanged, but the cruiser design paint job makes the bike unmistakable right down the middle. This time it's a deep red, crimson, which means scarlet red in English. We know the color from the ink box, and weren't we the first to draw the deep, warm red when we were little boys? Now we find it again on a bike for big boys. Their shoe size has grown enormously. Up front we find the big Speed 5-spoke wheel, measuring 23 inches in diameter and 130 millimeters wide. That's quite a statement. It's no less impressive at the rear with a 21-inch, 260 millimeters wheel. This wheel sits in one of our single-sided swing arms that replace the standard Softail Sporty. There is no hiding the perimeter brake. Eric Buell made this brake system famous on his racers. An air ride and the tightened bulky steel fenders smooth out the rear end when standing still, when everyone looks closer. But it is not only on the outside that we are thick. The Flip-2 handlebar is also one of our strengths. It sits in strong, old-style risers that allow cables to be routed internally. The Flip-2's dominant base is expressed in all its angularity. Clean look, the cables are routed through the inside of the Flip-2 handlebars. The old-style risers have a firm grip on the Flip-2. Jekyll and Hyde once again promises the perfect sound. At the push of a button. With the Force range of bikes, such as the Road Force, Red Force, and Black Apple, we showcase our distinctive Thunderbike line. But it's not just the looks that are impressive. Like the style? We can customize it for you and build your own power on two wheels. Platinum Force. How else to describe the color scheme when it resembles platinum, one of the most precious metals of all, Platinum Force? Our Fat Boy-based Force bikes do not hide what they have. Their powerful wheels are backed by equally powerful looks. 23 inches front, 21 inches rear. And these are not just numbers. There's also something technical. At the front, there's the 300mm disc brake in the characteristic big speed design, adapted to the wheel spokes. And at the rear, things really get going. The 9-inch wheel is fitted with a 260 tire, and both are mounted on our single-sided swing arm. We sell the whole thing as a kit, because the unusual perimeter brake disc also matches it. This makes a huge impression on the left side, which is always neglected on Harleys. Look at those fat handlebars. The striped indicators are hardly more weight, so they need to be mentioned separately. The spokes of the wheel and disc are matched in the big speed design. The single-sided swing arm is fitted with big speed wheels and a matching perimeter brake disc at the rear. It goes without saying that everything can be lowered by air ride, which makes the steel fender with its perfectly concealed rear lights sit even closer to the skin. This is just one of the details that are not visible at first glance. The Platinum Force also features air ride at the front. This means that it can be lowered at the front as well as the rear. We managed to hide the front air ride equipment under the lamp mask. To give the Platinum Force something to look at and feel confident about, we have fitted a GP front spoiler and given the Platinum Force a fat back handlebar. A handlebar that pushes forward like it wants to pull out trees. What's the world coming to? So we added striped turn signals so that nothing disturbs the visual momentum of the handlebars. Realizing customers' wishes. Sometimes customers even get involved and become part of our team. They bring the ideas, we do the execution, and we always have a few more ideas in the drawer. Since he approached us with his first project, the Fat Boy Red Booster, we have spared him. This was followed by our GT5, based on an FXDR, so a bit more sporty. Also a powerful machine, but Marvin says he tends to make quick decisions. He wanted a higher handlebar. We were able to fulfill his wish within half a year. In general, we were able to fulfill a lot of his wishes because for the first time Marvin was able to contribute his own ideas. So Ocean Force is a co-production in the broadest sense. A very formative stylistic element came from us. We suggested our Grand Prix monoblock wheels. They would give the Ocean Force its own touch and, above all, they would look really good. Grand Prix monoblock wheels. Anyone in the know knows what a huge block of aluminium it takes to machine a complete wheel in one piece. At the front it measures 23 inches in diameter and 4 inches wide, while at the rear it measures 21 inches in diameter and 9 inches wide, or around 23 centimeters. That's enough for a 260 mm Cruisertech rear tire. Marvin chose matte gold for the wheels, as everything on the Ocean Force is matte, including the frame. Do we need to explain anything else about the look? Marvin thanked us for our suggestion, and that is our greatest reward. So we did something right. Fitting the wheels took all our know-how. After all, it's not the first time we've done this. At the rear, we got it right with our single-sided swing arm kit, including spectacular perimeter brakes. The challenge at the front was even greater. This was less due to the addition of the air ride. The Fat Boy has only one disc brake at the front. Now it has two, with a diameter of 340 mm. This should be enough to slow down the fast Marvin, who has just come off an FXDR, even on the Ocean Force. Now, thanks to the high flip handlebars, he can relax a little. And maybe the man of quick decisions will stay on the Ocean Force for a little while longer. Thanks for watching.